Welcome, heroes, to Clash of Classes!
Clash of Classes!
We are super excited today for our third matchup, our Paladin versus Cleric. I'm going to be honest, Gray, I am excited. I've been excited for this match. These two powerhouses coming together is something that's really been making my dice tremble. So
the two holiest of warriors come face to face, 1v1, and I just can't wait to see it. This has been a long 2 weeks coming.
Absolutely, I'm super excited. So let's go ahead and give our players a moment to introduce themselves, and we'll go from there. Let's start with our buddy Ian. Tell us, what are you looking to see tonight?
Well, once again, I'm Ian, one of the co-hosts for Crit Academy, and as always, I'm looking for some carnage. And I don't think our gentleman here will disappoint.
Awesome. Ian is going to be running the game as the Dungeon Master and our resident expert on Foundry, though there is one with us who's even more of an expert, so Master maybe. We do have a special guest. Our buddy looks like Duro is going to be an assistant DM. I want to take a moment to thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. You got it. I'm here to look. I'm here to see some carnage. I can't wait for it. It's going to be gorgeous.
We're going to get it, right?
Like my steak, raw and bloody.
All right.
I love it. All right. We thank you for your help. He'll be giving us a play-by-play in the Foundry chat, so you can cover some of the things that Foundry doesn't have like buttons for to pop up and let us know. Lewis, why don't we pick up our first contender here? Lewis, why don't you tell us who you're playing and what's going on?
Hey everybody, I am Lewis, and I'm going to be playing the Cleric Sacrificao Expendabaldi.
I'm really excited for that. Do you have any big plans?
Is it?
I didn't hear the question.
Do you have any big plans?
My biggest plan is to win.
Good plan.
That's a good plan.
That's a really good plan to have.
All right, and what about Drew?
Oh, hey everybody. Yeah, I'm Drew from Drew and Dragons, and I am playing Thorgard of Clan Valkyr, the paladin from the north, the half-orc, that, like the chief of the elementals of Alika, the great prismatic worm Gormadrog, casts a long shadow on you. Prepare to meet your god. I will make it a swift trip.
I love it. All right, we will turn you guys loose to get started. Why don't you guys jump into Foundry, exit out of here, and let's get going.
Let's go.
All right. And of course, I'm in Discord.
All right, guys. So I am super excited for this. Brandon, while they're getting their stuff set up here, why don't we talk a little bit about what we got going on, what kind of builds they're running, all that jazz. I don't know why.
Let's see. Let's go with the Sacrificao first. I believe he is a Order of Light cleric. Is that correct?
Yes. So for those that don't know, clerics are one of the holiest warriors out there, right? They are the quintessential follower of a deity. Their power is divine justice, and he's bringing all the holy light with him today.
That's correct. And I do believe he also got, at his first level, Warding Flare, which you could think of as like a flash grenade. It poses disadvantage on attack rolls on his enemies.
Yeah, and I really think going up against a paladin, that right there is going to be a big deal going out the gate, because honestly, a paladin, especially a vengeance paladin with smite and hunter's mark, can push out so much damage in a single round. It can be devastating. So Sacrificao really can't afford to take any brutish attacks from Thorgard and his paladin skills, I think.
Yes, because he's got two channel divinities, the Abjure Enemy and Foul of Enmity. Enmity, I believe, lets him get a advantage on his attack rolls.
Yeah, the one thing that I think is really going to play good into this, is let's talk a little bit about the arena too. The players aren't just going up against themselves; the arena is trying to kill them as well. So if you look at each end of the arena here, there are ogres on each side, ready to strangle, beat, and kill the other players,
Yes, you
player
got
characters.
over to the
Um,
left, over to the right.
What's that?
Now, I'm sharing my screen. I'm showing
Oh,
the full potential of the arena here.
oh, I didn't have yours shared. I had mine shared. Let's change that. There we go.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, you zoomed out. All right, fantastic. Yeah, so you can see that that's dangerous. It looks like they're getting ready to really start the match. I see that they've started the clock down timer. So aside from just the ogres, their chains that are holding them in will be slowly moving them in during the match.
Oh,
So
really?
while they're not an immediate threat right from the beginning, they're gradually going to be working their way towards our unfortunate victims. I mean, contenders. But that's not all. Oh, we got some dice rolling here. Looks like Sacrificao is tossing out spirit guardians. A very potent combo here, I think. Allows him to call the spirits to protect himself in an area around him, which is really just super potent. Let's see if we can. Do you got your? Have you? There's a lot going on here.
There
So I
is.
wanted to
I've not
talk
been able
about.
to.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the spirit guardian mechanic? Because I
Uh,
think that's really going to give him an edge right out the gate.
The spirit guardians. Let's actually take a look at it here. You call forth spirits to protect you, and they fit around you within a distance of 15 feet.
Yep, and
And
you can
that's for the
see that
duration, yes.
Sacrificio has done that. Go ahead.
That is what he has done. When you cast a spell, you can designate any number of creatures you can see to be unaffected by it. But that, of course, is for allies, I'd assume, which he doesn't have in here.
This basically just applies to himself, and it's going to put up this debuff that when Thorgard enters the vicinity, it's going to
It's going to cut his speed down.
it's gonna slow him, and on a failed, he also takes radiant damage, which
It's
is
3d8.
that's a lot at this level. So he's kind of
Yeah, it
torn.
is.
Does he just continue to try to charge in, or does he counter? Oh, and of course he's going to throw his javelin because he knows walking into that spirit guardian is going to cause trouble. Now, so one of the things that I think makes this map so interesting, you notice the complex runes in the center there?
Yes, I see that.
There's actually a powerful arcane enchantment on it that will randomly throughout the battle spew out a random type of cloud of some sort of poison or psychedelic gas, something that can influence the battle one way or another. And the fact that Thorgard is standing right in it, I do have my concerns for him. That he's going to wake up to a quite the shock here in a second. It looks like Thorgard is reached out with the shimmering and created a shimmering field of faith around him to protect himself. That does grant him a bonus to AC, giving him the defenses he needs to avoid direct attacks from Sacrificao.
That's not going to help when those runes go off.
Yeah, I know, and he's standing right on it. Now, it is worth noting that the arcane wards there that generate these threats are pretty damaging, but they're different depending on the random roll of the dice. It looks like they're gradually moving in, so the ogres are charging in. Unfortunately, they're caught at the tight end of their chains, and they can't quite get to their meat, but they are hungry. They haven't been fed in weeks.
I could just see them slashing. They're trying to gnaw at that air. Are they being released 5 feet every turn?
Yes, they are. They're
slowly
making their way towards the towards the enemy, or towards our contenders here, and you can feel and see the
Sacrificio throws guidance on him.
Did he guidance himself? That's
I believe
interesting.
So. I am wondering why he spilled it 3 times, though.
Maybe it could be a typo, or maybe he accidentally got a little excited.
Could be.
So if you don't know, the Paladin did cast guidance on himself to buff one. That'll allow him to grant advantage on some basic checks. That's a really good defensive maneuver. I do think it requires concentration, so a good hit into his face could end that for that effect, wasting that action for Thorgard. And I think, unfortunately, Thorgard is about to have to deal with the random, the potential arcane wards that are going to release there.
Yeah, he's also dropped Sanctuary on himself too.
Did they both drop Sanctuary? No, that's Sacrificio, isn't it?
Just Sacrificio did.
Yeah.
Guidance and Sanctuary.
So I do want to talk a little bit while they're doing so. If you're joining us for the first time, this is a heated battle between our cleric Sacrificio and Thorgard, our paladin of vengeance. Clerics are a unique bunch, divine magic, as the name suggests. They are powers. They harness the power of their gods, flowing them or ripping them into the world in some cases, which is exciting. Clerics are conduits for that power, and they use it in a multitude of different ways depending on how they want to get their working or getting their benefits together. It does seem that they're trying to work out the mechanics of a spell right now. According to our assistant ref, the cleric spell list is longer than the line at Costco.
It is really, really long.
He definitely has options. So it looks
like he's dropping Sacred Flame, and that requires a deck save.
Yeah.
And we're counting the first roll, which is 18, and I'm pretty sure that's a save.
Yeah, so Sacrificio was able to or Thorgard was able to dodge out of the way of the holy light beaming from the sky. That's really hard when those gods are out to get you, and a cleric goes that direction. You have to watch it, because you never know when you're going to get zapped by a fiery flame from the heavens.
That's right. Now, this is something somewhat boggling to me, because doesn't Sacrificio not have a god? Has he had an issue trying to find gods?
Well, sometimes you got to find a way to make your choice, but I think he did say he had a god, didn't he? Or did he? I don't recall. What did you hear?
I can't quite remember.
Wow. Okay. So, to my knowledge, Sacrificio wanted to be a paladin, but unfortunately, he didn't have what it takes. So he determined that to fight for the living, and even if it meant becoming, dead himself. I know he did volunteer for the Cleric Corps and traveling militia that came through his small time at one point. And he kind of took and learned what he could from them, kind of siphoning off some of their holiness, I guess. Oh, it looks like oh no, this is not going well for Thorgard. He's dashing away at this point, trying to get some distance. He failed the wisdom saving throw against the I think the
As I say, did the trap go off?
I don't see the effect, so I don't think that the trap went off. It looks like Sacrificio's got Thorgard on the run right now. And him being able to keep up that. So the real question is Spirit Garden, is that concentration?
Well, let's take a look up here. Shield of Fate.
Because I thought it might be, but I'm not sure. We'll scroll back and look at our history up here. Oh, and there it is. I don't see that any icons say it requires
Spirit Guardian is a concentration spell.
So it can be easily broken if he's not careful. Okay, so you guys are in trouble now. As you can tell, this big aura of energy popped up. That is a cloud of fear. It instills and reveals the contender's innermost fears and frightens them and sends them running in all directions. So it's a dangerous cloud to be caught in for Thorgard.
What do you suppose Thorgar's afraid of?
That's a good question. Losing this battle definitely would be. Oh man.
Whoa!
Oh,
Fireball!
Sacrificio reached out to the heavens and pulled forth a lightning bolt that streaks and smashes into the arena. Thorgard is trembling and is in shock from the area. You can see dust and debris shooting out. I don't know what he's gonna do. That is a dangerous situation to be in, I think.
The fire raining from the heavens, pouring down into the arena, and he is stuck right in the middle of it too.
Yeah, it's horrible. He needs to get away. Some of the we've mentioned more than once. Oh, he does manage to avoid the brunt of the damage, tucking and rolling and hiding behind his shield. Just what he needed to keep this match going. But it's not looking good for him. He needs to get some cover because I don't know how many spells like that Sacrificio has. Let's take a look. He's got
I remember though, with the fireball, even if you save, you're still taking half that damage.
Yeah, and you can tell it took a big chunk out of his hit points. He might as well have just lost an arm because that took a big
It was a total of 29 points of fire damage, and
that's rough.
That would have brought him down to half HP if he hadn't saved.
Yeah. So that's definitely some concerns for it looks like finally Thorgar is just charging in and is going to deal with the effects of the secret or sacred guardian.
Sacred guardian, yes.
Yeah. You can that spirit guarding effect. Kudos to Ian for that because that's awesome.
That is beautiful. And even though he might take the 3d8 here, when you're within reach of a vengeance paladin, you might not have a good day.
Oh, it looks like we have some undoing. The paladin saves and takes half damage. Looks like they're trying to figure out movement maybe because it does look like he's going to head in. And I think that he's going to have to knock that spirit guardian effect off of him.
That's right. The half movement for a failed save.
Yeah, let's take a look at his character sheet here for a second. I wanted to look at I want to bring attention to warding flares. You mentioned it earlier. I think that's going to be a key player in this game, but also with channel divinities. He's got a lot of good going for him at this point. Did no one bring a sling and a stone? Come on. Oh man, I'm trying to pay attention to chat in the game at the same time, and I could probably do a little bit better job.
Yeah, I haven't been looking at chat. Sorry, guys.
We kind of got engrossed in the game. So it says the spirit guardians do their full damage as Thorgard enters the space. Ouch, that's hurting. That is painful. But if Thorgard can deliver a good blast, he might be able to break concentration and drop it. And I think that's what he's really going to have to do here. Otherwise, that's going to keep tearing him up on the inside.
No, I see Trendy Nate in the comments is right. That's what the javelin was used for. He was trying to break his concentration with that, but missed. But how many javelins does he have?
I imagine he's got at least 2. We can find out here looking at his inventory. Javelins, he's got 10, so he came prepared.
And he totally could have stayed out of that guardian circle.
Absolutely.
He's chucked him.
The spirits are kicking poor Thorgard in the balls. This is why, if you don't know, paladins don't acquire their power from deities like clerics do. They actually bind themselves to oaths that are so powerful they get infused with power and magic, and breaking those ones really is just an issue. Is a problem in general for a paladin. So they got to stick closely. Dude, did that just have a sword swing animation?
Yes,
that is
it did.
So cool.
I saw that. That was nice. We got a 15 on the attack. I think he's rolling with advantage right now.
Oh man, that's
because of the channel.
Thorgard is using his vow of enmity to gain the advantage, and that, oh man, that's rough. This would be a really great opportunity for our pal Sacrificio to use his warding flares.
It would have been. I don't think he's paying attention to it though.
Yeah.
Divine Smite. Thorgard drops
didn't hurt as much as I would have hoped. It barely registered on the front, with a bob and a weave. I think Sacrificio was able to parry with and block it with his shield a little bit. Oh, there's the smite pain right
Yeah,
there. They are
there's
both
the
kind of
divine smite.
weakened.
See, that's where the magic's happening. Is Thorgard has dropped Sacrificio to half health in one turn.
Yeah, that's why I said it's going to be super important him to be using that warding flare, because without it, one hit can totally turn this around. And it looks like the ogres are out for blood.
Those ogres are
I'm
getting
not
real
exactly
close.
ringside here, but I can see that something undeniably sinister, about the way these things are roaring and bellowing, and I feel for our adventurers. I really do. Our contenders are going to be in trouble here.
If it gets to that, that must be healing word. Look at that. For
Every
4
little bit
HP.
helps, and so the advantage
Yeah.
of healing word is 1d4 plus your spellcasting modifier. It's not super effective, but the fact that it's a bonus action allows Sacrificio to really be a little more versatile in what he's going to do next.
That is true, because if you can remember in our first alteration with was it the fighter and the barbarian? That barbarian won by that much. If the fighter had just a little more HP, he would have stayed alive.
Yeah, we actually have a really good question here from Integrity. Shouldn't there be a Spirit Guardian check, a concentration check? Absolutely. I have passed that information on to our team, and we'll hopefully that they'll catch that and make that roll, because we can't not have unless we missed it. I don't think I've seen a concentration check. But I am concerned for Sacrificio with this ogre gaining in on behind him.
Yeah, that divine smite really hurt.
So it looks like we got some really good good comments on here. The Paladin is a human, yes. Let's take a look. I think so. Dwarf, maybe, actually, for the Paladin. It says half orc, actually. He's a half orc. So that means he does have relentless endurance and savage strikes. Relentless endurance, if he goes down to 0, he can stop at 1. That's going to become super handy in this battle, especially when it becomes a clutch battle between this divine warrior and this Oath of Vengeance Paladin.
Now, I have not seen this arena yet or seen it before. Now, I see these runes in the middle of this arena, and we just saw the fear cloud. Now,
Yes.
Is it just clouds with effects, or is there like a possibility of arcing lightning throughout the arena?
Right now, they're just clouds of effects, as far as I recall. I was talking with one of the conjurers that created it, and he wanted to start with something a little more manageable.
Thorgard needs to
Before
get
having
the hell
something
out.
that leaps from location to location. This is going rough. They are trading blows back and back. I really feel like Thorgard needs to disengage and get the hell out of
Yeah.
out of Dodge. Yeah.
He needs to disengage. He needs to. He has a lay on hands, doesn't he? Because he's a
He
paladin.
does, and I think that's what he's going to end up needing to do. But putting some distance between him and his enemy is going to be a start.
The spirit guardians are doing their job. Yeah. Just check for spirit guardians.
I think that's
See that Thorg has asked it.
okay, so it is worth noting we haven't seen it on screen, but they are making sure they're doing the con saves for the spirit guardians. So right now, I feel like the cleric is really got the advantage here. Thorgard needs to retreat and come up with a new strategy, because trading blows in the middle of that spirit guardian cluster is not doing him any justice at all.
That is not going to help at all.
He needs to either disengage or, what kind of tools does he have? Let's take a look at some of his features. He has danger sense. That did help him against the fireball. It looks like Thorgar is just going all brutal. He's throwing away any semblance of defense and going all out on attacking. Using branding smite, which is amazing. I don't know if you know, but when a paladin harnesses the smite of branding, and the weapon gleams with like this astral radiance and strikes the foe for an extra 2d6 radiant damage, which becomes visible if the target is invisible, which is really, really nice. And the target can't become invisible. So it's a great way to stack that on top of your regular smite.
Well, looking at a spell book, it doesn't have any reactions. It's got plenty of bonus actions.
But see, and that does you only have one bonus action you can take per turn, so
That's right.
you're pretty limited in that capacity. But he does got some. He's got healing potions. He's got lay on hands. He needs to do something, otherwise this fight is going to go to Sacrificao. And with every round, this hideous ogre is getting closer and closer. So I think that that's going to end up being a contender, and he still hasn't used his warding flare yet. I feel like he needs to be dropping those. Those should be the first things he expended the uses of, because when it comes to a one-on-one battle, it's going to be pretty impact heavy. And avoiding as many of those as you can. Whew. So it looks like Sacrificao failed his Constitution save.
Oh, and it's going to drop.
Yep, it's going to drop the Spirit Guardian for sure.
Sacrificao has a sliver of health.
Yeah, he's looking really weak there. I think that both of them. Is Fireball from a subclass feature? Yes. Emily, that's a really good question. That is right from our Light Warden spell list. As a cleric with a light, not Light Warden. What is it? Domain of Light, Fireball, and Scorching Ray, and a few other spells become available to him, making them dangerous. Volgard says, in a blood-curdling scream, Thorgard strikes his foe. There is no defense, and I think that's one of the things that makes this just a damage race, because they're not applying any tactics.
No, they're not.
It's just trading blows, though I do think Sacrificao had the advantage there for a while.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like his friends were correct about Sacrificao. Is that he's always there to lend a hand. He's always there to go and head first.
Mm-hmm.
But his friends do not believe that he's going to be alive for very long because of that attitude.
If you use the feint action, do you go prone? I don't know that there is a feint action, but you can drop prone. I think you can do that as part of a free action. I'm not a master of all the rules. Oh, man. This is rough.
Oh.
The ogre has a 10-foot reach, smashing with a chain and a ball and chain. And that is rough. The question is who is it attacking? You see him swinging this thing wildly. These two, Thorgard and Sacrificao, are in the middle of trading blows back and forth. Who is the blow going to land on?
I believe the closest one would be Sacrificao.
Yeah, I definitely think that's probably who it's going to have to be. That would make the most sense. Ogres are brutes. They're not super intelligent. They're likely to swing at the first target that they can. And that's going to be it looks like fortunately, with the battling going on between Thorgard and our buddy Sacrificao, the ogre was able to smash his mighty chain maul right into his shield, so that definitely kept him alive. Looks like Sacrificao touched himself. I don't know anybody else.
When I think about you, want to touch myself.
Sorry. This is dangerous. Right now, I think, what I think would be a really great strategy for Thorgard is to reach out and grab Sacrificao and hold him and
just push him into the
yeah, and just let the ogre beat the living shit out of him. I think that's the best.
Oh, he drops Shield of Faith. Sacrificao does.
Ooh,
+2
increasing that AC
for the duration.
Again, I'm telling you, I haven't seen the his warding flare, which I think is critical to him surviving, because as soon as that pops
I
off, he's
think
got basically some free attacks.
I think he's saving it as a last resort.
Well, he's got 3 of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It
He
only
dropped
takes
shield of
1 smite to max damage to really wreck your shit in this case.
He dropped Shield of Faith on himself, which gives him a +2 to AC for the duration, which is 10 minutes. So that's pretty much going to last the entire match here.
Well, it's
He also dropped
concentration.
Sanctuary, too.
Is it concentration?
I did not
Or
see.
is it what is it?
Shield of Faith is a concentration spell.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it here. So that just gives a static bone. Oh shoot, I wasn't supposed to do that. I forgot I was told not to do that no more because it messes with what they're doing.
What'd you do?
So when I opened up the little chat box or the little text box for the spell,
Oh.
so it looks like our Thorgar successfully saved against Thorgard of Clan Volgar's turn. He did the wisdom save. Do we know what the wisdom save was for?
I have no idea. Why would he?
But I do see Thorgard is marking his target pretty clearly with his Hunter's Mark. Hunter's Mark allows him to mystically mark a quarry and deal extra D6 to the target whenever he hits it with a weapon attack.
I love Hunter's Mark mixed with Sneak Attack.
Yeah, it's powerful. And Hunter's Mark plus Smites are just terrible for the victim. I'm surprised they haven't moved. This thing is on them. It's going to attack somebody. That ogre is just going to bash their face in. Oh man, that's rough. That divine. I smell a smite.
Oh. Smell it? Something smells holy in here.
Oh, the wisdom save might have been, or the wisdom save might have been for shield of faith. Or is it sanctuary? It might have been for sanctuary. Sacrificio replaced. Oh, he did sanctuary, not shield of faith. That's why. Okay, I missed the correction. Oh, Thorgard's starting to use that positioning to his advantage.
Oh yes, he is. You know, I knew in the beginning that Sacrificio Expendability was a holy warrior, either by being in relation to his god, or Thorgard was going to make him holy.
Well, I think that
with a sword.
See, this is he's got an ability to stop this, and he needs to use it. Otherwise, he's not going to make it. And of course, Steve Honadell says this might be over. Oh no!
That's funny.
That chain sweep with a wide arcing. What save do we get from Sacrificio?
That's a downer. That's a downer.
That might knock him down, man.
Oh.
Is he at 1? And he's prone. He's at 1 hit point. Dude, Sacrificio. He is hanging on by a thread.
Oh my god.
He is on the ground. This is very brutal for him. He's not in a good situation right now. Thorgard is standing over him. The mighty ogre is standing over top of him. He needs to get out of dodge. It is now Sacrificio's turn, which is good. Maybe he can try to heal through this.
So what do you think he's going to do? Run and heal?
Honestly, I think his best course of action is he's going to have half his movement. So he needs to stand up, move to the other side of Thorgard to at least get away from the ogre. And then he needs to rely on his warding flare to protect him while he heals. Uh-oh. There's a hazard coming in. Looks like the arcane runes are upset at this battle. What kind of battle do we get? Is it another fear cloud? Now, for these who don't know, The arcane is random. There's 3 different types of clouds. It looks like it is a fear cloud once again. We keep forgetting about the other ogre. He's over here. Like, he's slowly moving in too.
He's getting in there.
And
Man,
so it looks like
what is he doing? I think he's starting to panic.
I think he is too.
It's like,
He's
I got
at
1
1 hit
HP.
point. How can
What
he
am
not?
I gonna do?
Like, if Thorgard farts, it's going to knock Sacrificao out. Like, oh, he's going on the offensive?
If he can pull off enough damage, I don't see why not.
Oh, man, that is so ballsy to send streaks of flaming, scorching rays at your foe when you're barely standing. He's wobbling in his boots right now. The ogres are chasing after him.
I was gonna say,
Thorgard's ready
Thorgard-
to slam his face in.
Thorgar technically, right now, he only has 17 HP. It's a 19.
The
on
ultimate cat
attack.
says the ogres are taking more time than playing Monopoly without drinking coffee. So if you don't know, the ogres don't have movement. They are on chains, and the chains only let them move 10 feet per round. So they're not. It's not of their own choice. They are savagely trying to reach and destroy their targets. Man. So looks like the scorching rays. Did they land?
According to the assistant ref, they did
no.
not.
No, he didn't. He had disadvantage because he made ranged attacks in melee. That is a very difficult task to pull off for most people. With the constant swinging of swords and bashing of shields, trying to cast a ranged attack spell in melee is not good.
It is Thorgard's turn. I think this is the end. This has to be. Unless Sacrificao pops that ward, but that only
He
gives him
needs
disadvantage.
to do it.
So
Remember, he is under the sanctuary effect. So in order to attack, Thorgard has to pass the wisdom save, and it doesn't look like he did. So for those that don't know, sanctuary says that he wards a creature, which in this case, Sacrificao warded himself. And any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack roll must roll a saving throw.
Which doesn't matter because he threw a flask of alchemist fire at Sacrifical's feet.
Oh no!
You don't have to attack if you're spilling something on the ground.
No,
the
he threw
ogre.
it at the ogre.
He threw it at the ogre. But why the ogre?
That's a good question. Maybe he's he wants to make sure that his ending is really lit.
Wow. Thanks. For
That's
that.
bad, I know. It is the ogre's turn. It's gonna get 10 feet. Is it going to be able to reach?
It's 5, 10, 50. They are 20 feet right now.
That means it's gonna put Sacrificao in range. That's where's this other one? Is he still moving? He's moving ever so closely.
Is he? Where's he at?
The final countdown.
It's way over there. I imagine he must be jealous because he's not getting any action.
Right? Well, I mean, I imagine if you look over at him, he's just flailing and anger in his eyes, and he's ready to choke a contender.
He sees his friend bawling at this tune. He's like, "Be angry, be sad, be not part of confrontation."
Oh no! So it looks like the ogre is still
recharged.
trying to roll up its chain and get it into a position to attack, and unfortunately, it doesn't recharge.
I believe it
Look at
only
his
recharges
stat
on a 6.
Yeah. So yeah, he has chain sweep, which deals 1d8 plus 4, 10 feet, and recharges on a 5 or a 6. I'm not really sure.
Whip and kneecap.
What's that? The whip and kneecap?
Yeah. Chain sweep.
On here. Oh, the cat's on my leg and she's clawing me and it hurts. It's worse than the beatdown Sacrificao is getting right now. Oh, can I recenter the map? Sure. Like that?
Oh, wait, yeah. It's not chain sweep that has a recharge. It's the chain drop.
Chain drop. Yep. Okay. That's why I didn't see it on there. Oh, and there it is.
There it is. There it is. Sacrificial's down. He is down.
And he
Unless...
still.
Why didn't he? Is it a reaction?
Still didn't use his warding flare.
Isn't that a reaction?
It is a reaction, so we can hound him when he comes in.
How
So
can you forget your channel divinity?
what's that?
How can you forget your channel divinity?
It's not even a channel divinity.
What?
So we're gonna make sure that it's called. Thorgar throws his hands up into the air. Spittle covering his beard. He roars and bellows in success. The crowd goes wild. Woo! I really thought Sacrificio had a better start than that, but
Yeah. So I thought Sacrificial had it in the bag, but
all right.
I think he just got too paranoid and he just couldn't see.
Yep. Let's get
like
our,
we've all done
our
before.
team.
We've all played the game and we all have those abilities in the back of our head that we know we have, but we always
you
forget because we're in the moment.
All right, let's get him in here into the bullpit here and have a conversation.
Thorgar is
All righty, welcome
Thorgard!
Calendar. Wow, what an entertaining battle to watch. Friendly 8 says Thorgar is going to sacrifice Sacrificio to their own god. All right, Ian, why don't you give us the overview, the how it went, what challenges you ran into, all that jazz.
Well, I'll admit, thankfully we managed to mitigate this for the most part, but there were a few times because I always forget concentration checks when you take damage.
Yep.
Thankfully we resolved that to everybody's satisfaction. I did not, and when I saw the ogre walk up, I'm like, well, the other thing he can do is chain sweep, and that's a save. He has 1 HP. He's dead.
He's gonna kill it.
I did not expect this match to end by arena hazard. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Sacrificio.
right.
Dude.
Hang on, we'll get to that.
No,
Our assistant DM. First of all, that helps a lot. Thank you so much for participating in it.
Oh, yeah, you have no idea. Holy
As
shit.
you were watching this, kind of what was going through your mind before we talked to the contenders?
What was going through my mind was, thank God I'm not the DM.
Why is that? Why is that?
The whole thing with all the spells back and forth and the saves and this, it was holy cow.
Absolutely. Did you have
I tell you,
did you have an idea?
I'm so glad. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're all right. Go ahead.
I'm just so glad I wasn't at the end of that ogre's chain.
Right. So again, the bitch slap. All right. Let's talk to our contenders before we go to our winner, Sacrificio. Tell us what was going through your mind, how it went down, what were your concerns, what were your challenges, all that stuff. Tell us what you were thinking here in this moment.
Just is my mic working? It wasn't working earlier.
Yeah,
You're good. Yeah, you're good.
Oh, excellent. As the name implies, Sacrificio came into this fight with a bit of a death wish. He, clearly the gods were not favoring him today. But I'll be honest. I don't think I could have done a better build of the character the way I intended to play him, and I had a strategy going in. I stuck to the strategy, but Thorgard was a very, very tough opponent and was able to weave around my tricks. So it was a good fight.
So we were having a discussion while this was going on.
Yeah.
Brandon, what were we talking about? You want to ask him or should I?
Sacrificio, what about the warding light?
The warding flare.
Warding flare. It was a reaction.
I used it as much as I could.
But you did use it.
Spammed it early.
We couldn't tell. So we were like, man, is he not using it?
Oh, he was using it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't ticking down or anything. So
Yeah, it wasn't showing up on the thing.
It was
Okay.
weird.
So the whole time
I wasn't sure what
man,
to click on for it.
Yeah,
It's
no,
my
it's
bad.
okay. It's okay. All right. Well, I think you did a good game. You out of the gate, you had a good, strong start.
Oh,
but
yeah.
sometimes the dice aren't just with you, and that smite will wreck some shit. Drew Thorgar, congratulations. Tell us how it went.
No, it was a lot of fun. I just want to say thanks to Ian and thanks to Luis. It was a good time. Thorgard is he rolled a nat 1 on his initiative, and that's not going to be fun in a game where initiative matters in this PvP arena. I really liked his build of the wisdom saves. As soon as I saw it was a cleric, I'm like, oh man, I have a bunch of wisdom saves in my kit. That means they're totally gone, and I don't have high wisdom, so I just am gonna run into him and smash face as much as I possibly can. And we did that, and then I went around him. I was able to not take attacks of opportunity, and I had my big boy Ogre Man. He was in it the whole entire time. Me and him, we were talking. We had drinks before, and a win's a win. So
We paid him off. Oh my god, that's glorious! I love it. I love it.
Thorgard bathed his blood, man, and Sacrificio lived up to his name. So thank you, Thorgar.
At least he gets to be useful for something. He's grateful for that opportunity.
Hey, Justin, I have a question about this. Do we have a list of contestants for future games right now?
I have a list of sign up, and somebody just asked about how can I sign up to participate.
Yes.
So if you give me 1 second, I will drop that link into the chat.
Yes,
And you can sign up. We are super interested. If you really enjoyed this and you liked it, make sure to type in crit all caps into the chat. That helps us know how many people like it, and we'll make sure to keep doing it. I want to thank everyone that participated and come and join us. We've been changing some stuff, and we're trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. So if you have any ideas, what things you would like to see, we delved into a little bit more of the lore between the classes a little bit than we did previously. That was a request. I tried not to go into it too much, but hopefully it was a good mix. And hopefully us not having an idea of what's going on isn't and us trying to figure out what to say is kind of part of the fun. Very much WWE style is what we're going for. We definitely could do some more work on there.
Yeah.
So
I do gotta say that seeing a new arena pop up, I think that was a good feel.
yes. So that actually came up because I think a viewer asked about it, and then Ian asked about it. It'd be nice to change it up. So not only are we going to look at arenas, but I was taking some polls on some other stuff. So we are going to try to change it up. That way it's not as predictable. And hopefully we'll continue to experiment with different field effects to keep the mobility around.
And also Thorgard the hazards. If you took one more step towards the wall, you will have been spiked.
Yep, there's
spikes in the wall.
Spikes and shit. Yeah,
Yes, there is.
they kind of just pop out and stab you. So, anyways,
that would have been bad.
Yeah, I think that
would have been bad.
Especially at 1 hit point. So once again, thank everyone. We are the Crit Academy. This is Clash of Classes. If you, like I said, if you like the stuff, subscribe, share this with everyone, share the playlist. If this seems like it's something people love and we'd like to get better at it and do more of these, share in the comments things you would like to see, email us, follow us on social media, tell us what it is you'd like to see more of. And we are interested in doing brackets at some point, but as we're developing the process and we're refining it, but that is something we want to do later. And we even will be giving away a big prize compliments of the Foundry crew. So keep an eye out for all of that stuff. So how about we all wave goodbye and class dismissed?
You guys have questions after the credits, of course. So
we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Let me get this rolling one more time.
Yeah.